What's up guys, RuppDat here, welcoming you to week 7 of the International Battling League. My Columbus Swoo are currently sitting at a very nice 5-1 record and +9 differential. I want to be happy about it, but I will point out that we are kind of in a bit of a dogfight for first place in our conference. The other team, Platinum Howler and his Delta Gliders, are also 5-1, but he's kind of got double my differential. Obviously, something has to change here. This week is going to be a bit of a challenge, though, as my team just kind of relaxes right now in our locker room, getting ready for the game ahead, as is a new thing I started up last week. I thought it would be a nice little extra touch to the videos. So this week we are playing the Happy Valley Hariyamas, coached by MarioBee. He started the season off at 0-3, but after making a couple of transactions, he has since been on a 3-game winning streak. And he's got some things that are definitely concerning, to say the least. So let's go ahead and leave my locker room behind for the time being. Switch over to the team builder aspect of the video, Pokemon Showdown. His roster should be appearing off to the right about now. He has Dragapult, Darmanitan, Primarina, Rotom Heat, Orbeetle, which is his G-Max, Mudsdale, Drapion, Hitmontop, Vileplume, Durant, and our mascot, Swoobat. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel bad about the prospect of putting down our mascot this week. If it does come. That is not my concern, however. My number one concern is the mon at the very top of that list, Dragapult. I'll be upfront with you guys. This mon gave my front office and I migraines all week trying to prep for this game. This is one of those scenarios where, like it or not, if I have to play absolutely flawlessly to basically beat this mon, because Dragapult is that rare instance where he has a mon that runs through my entire team if I do not play absolutely perfectly. So there is a pretty good chance we are probably going to get shredded this week. We have come up with some really good ideas to be able to deal with it. Of course, obviously, I have to be very careful how I play this, because while Dragapult is my prime concern, he does have a couple of other big threats as well. Darmanitan and Primarina are certainly sights to fear, even though Darm actually kind of has a bit of a bad matchup against my team, unless he wants to use it for Scarf pivoting more than anything else. Orbeetle is an interesting G-Max. It actually has a pretty good matchup against most of my team, which is a bit of a terrifying thought. I did notice a couple things while watching some of his games as far as how he plays, so we kind of built around that, as well as trying to make absolutely sure we had an answer to whatever Dragapult could be, because he could run Dragapult a number of ways this game, and as I said, depending on how he runs it, if I do not deal with it appropriately, I am going to probably get my ass royally handed to me. Because he could go Specs, which would just be highly damaging. While I'm doubting it, he could run Scarf to be absolutely sure he outspeeds my entire team. The Dragapult's naturally faster than my whole roster, and he could try to prepare for me bringing something Scarf to outpace it. A Dragon Dance set is my biggest fear, though, because if I let him get set up, this could be catastrophic. But let's go ahead and get into my team, and I will show you what I'm bringing to try to deal with this little matter. So, first off the bat, we have Cyanide the Salazzle. Standard spread. Basically, the main idea is simple. Specs, destroy everything. I don't think anything more really needs to be said there. Flamethrower and Fire Blast are interchangeable whether I want the power or the accuracy. Those two plus Sludge Wave is just powerful stab. Dragon Pulse is primarily for Dragapult, obviously. Specs is definitely doing a lot of damage, and Salazzle actually has a pretty good matchup in this game, considering it outspeeds pretty much everything that's not named Dragapult. So I think this could be a game where Cyanide definitely puts in a ton of work for me. Next up is Hesuhia, my G-Max Hatterene. This set probably looks a little familiar to you, and I wouldn't blame you. Outside of one move change, that being subbing in Giga Drain for Shadow Ball, this is basically the same set I ran last week. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if anything is doing breaking this week, it's probably going to be Hatterene. Actually, Hatterene is probably my biggest win con, honestly. Trick Room turns the table on his entire team, especially Dragapult. Dazzling Gleam and Psychic are powerful stab that just shred his team in general. I was torn on the last moveset. My front office and I were banding around, tossing around a couple of ideas. Mystical Fire was the other one I could have put here, but I think Giga Drain works really well, primarily because it gives me a way to deal with Primarina. Specs Primarina could definitely be an issue, but G-Maxed, I believe Hat can take it on pretty easily and just straight up destroy it with an Overgrowth. Giga Drain would also work in replenishing my health in order to be able to handle it as well. Obviously, the Wise Glasses give me the 1.1 times boost to special attacks, which is nice. No recoil, no definite circumstances. I'm not locked in like I would be with Salazzle. Hat is definitely going to be valuable this game. Next up, making its return after taking a couple weeks off, is Guardian the Cobalion. Don't mind the fact he was away. He was off doing his other job of being, well, a Guardian. Gotta protect everyone somehow in these times. But he comes back this week, ready to kind of make a dent in Mario's team. I'm running an SD set, Close Combat and Iron Head for stabs, then Headbutt to deal with, I believe it's there more so for Hitmontop and Vileplume over anything else. But it's certainly a nice option to have in that last slot. Lumberry is there mostly on the off chance he, well, it's there primarily in case of Skull Burns for Primarina, a Will-O-Wisp Hex Dragapult, which would be a bit of a pain otherwise. If Rotom Heat is throwing around Will-O-Wisp as well, if that could be a problem. But basically the plan is simple with Cobalion. Set up an SD and go to town. Lumberry will get rid of any status I may be inflicted with. The 156 Speed EV basically allows Cobalion to outspeed everything that is not Dragapult, Swoobat, or Durant. Obviously Scarf Darm will outspeed it. If he is not running Scarf Darm, however, then this Cobalion actually speed creeps it, which will definitely make my life a hell of a lot easier. Next up is Cryogenic the Kyurem. Boy, this dragon has, this dragon's had a rough season in both leagues I'm in. And I really feel bad for it, because at one point in time, Kyurem was one of my brightest shining stars in the past, and now it's been having a hard time. Hopefully that changes this week, though. Spread is kind of standard, but basically the main idea behind Cryogenic this week is, as with Salazzle pretty much, come in and start basically just punching holes in his team. Roost is there so I can keep my HP up. Dragon Pulse, Freeze Dry, and Earth Power pretty much cover his entire team. The Haban Berry is there for one reason and one reason only, and its name is, of course, Dragapult. Unless he gets a D-Dance up and hits me with Dragon Darts, and I believe he would have to actually be a plus attack nature to actually pierce the Haban Berry in that case, Kyurem can pretty much take any dragon hit Dragapult wants to throw at me from full and absolutely obliterate it with a Dragon Pulse or a Freeze Dry. Depending on what he does bring, ideally Kyurem is going to be my lead for this game, just so I can just start applying offensive pressure immediately and just start breaking things. We'll see how he wants to play it, but Kyurem is, for the most part, another Dragapult answer if need be, but it's primarily meant to just lead and start trying to tear holes in his team ASAP, because the quicker I put him on the back foot, the easier I think this game is going to be for me. Laundry Day is back as per usual in my 5th slot here. Leftovers, got the EV spread there. It's more so physical to be able to tend to Darm, obviously. I believe this HP and defense investment is meant to take 2 Scarf Darm Flare Blitzes. And obviously I would just smash the thing with a Hydro Pump in that case if it stays in for God knows what reason. Volt Switch and Hydro Pump are standard fare. Toxic is there to put things on a timer and try to wear him down, especially as more defensive options. You're probably raising an eyebrow at Dark Pulse. And once again, this comes back to the Dragapult issue. The Spadef investment I have on this thing allows me to take a modest Specs Primarina Moonblast, I believe, after Rocks. So if I can live that, I can certainly live any hit from Dragapult. And Dark Pulse should be a 2-hit KO on it, depending on what he's running. Though he would have to be a very bulky variant for Dark Pulse to basically not be a 2-shot. Last but not least is the mon that's probably going to be my main answer to Dragapult in this game. My Cursed Design Runerigus. Fairly standard spread as per usual. Max HP, max defense, a little bit of Spadef investment. Stealth Rock to set up hazards of my own to try to pressure him. I know he tends to play very hazard heavy. I could have tried to bring something that could remove them, but honestly, I don't think hazards are actually bothering me that much. T-Spites from Drapion, Salazzle just absorbs them. If he wants to set Sticky Webs with Orbeetle, that actually plays into my strategy, because you've probably noticed I've got 2 Trick Room Mons here. Rocks might be a bit of an issue, but it's an issue I can work around if need be. But Rune's main purpose is dealing with Dragapult. The Case of Berry allows me to eat pretty much any dragon hit from him, no matter what he wants to throw at me. Shadow Claw is a 2-shot on that thing virtually in all scenarios. Earthquake is there for stab, as well as, since this thing can eat hits from Darm pretty much all day, and definitely kill that thing with an Earthquake. This thing is going to be my main Dragapult answer for sure, and with any luck, I will be able to get rid of Dragapult sooner rather than later, and all of a sudden, I've got a much clearer path to a potential victory. So, that is going to be the team as we switch back to the locker room. Get one last look at my team, just kind of relaxing and enjoying themselves before game time begins. So, we're going to see how this plays out. I am not going to lie, I am very nervous because Dragapult is a definite issue. But hopefully we can handle it, as well as the rest of his team. And I will see you guys when it's battle time, so we can see exactly how this plays out. Fingers crossed. Alright guys, it is battle time. This is actually happening a little later than we intended to. We originally got an extension for this game anyway, kind of going into the following week because of some schedule conflicts, plus between my injured wrist and him actually having some back problems as of late. Kind of made a bit of sense. We also ran into quite a few connection issues we had to sort through, so that delayed this even further. But it's game time at last, none the least. I could have worded that better. I can totally English properly. In any event, let's just go ahead and get this game started. And as soon as we connect, we will see what he is bringing. I know he said he needed a bit of time to do an intro of his own, so I gave mine. I, of course, have the benefit of doing my main intro now during the team builder section, since I do it all in one video, so I do have that working for me. So, if there's any one mon I am expecting to see for sure, it is definitely Dragapult. As for the rest, kind of a bit iffy, actually, on what he could throw at me here. Alright, here we go. So, he brought Primarina, not really surprised there. He did bring Darmanitan, Rotom Heat, G-Max Orbeetle. He did bring Swoobat, interesting, and of course Dragapult. So, no Munsdale means he has no rocks. No Drapion means he has no Toxic Spikes. Though to be fair, that one kind of doesn't surprise me because Salazzle is a thing. He did bring Darm and Prima though. I just want to double check something real quick. Do-do-do-do. Okay. Just want to confirm that. Because I know my front office and I, when this game got delayed, kind of discussed a potential alteration to our plan. But no. The plan remains the same. We are leading Cryogenic. And we are just going to try to break things right out of the gate. So, it is time to get this game started. So, good luck, have fun, MarioBee. And let's see if my Swoo can keep our winning ways going, even at the expense of his winning streak he's on. So, I am leading Kyurem and looking to do damage right out of the gate. He is going to lead... He leads Primarina! That is interesting to me. Did he predict my Kyurem lead? I wonder. So if he specs, he definitely kills me with a Moonblast here. Or if he's Life Orb. If he's Scarf, Moonblast is a roll to kill. Do I really want to waste Cryogenic right out of the gate here? You know what? I'm going to click Freeze Dry. I'm going to gamble a bit. If he Scarf, he outspeeds me. He does not. So I'm just going to hit this thing with a big Freeze Dry. Do over half. And he is going to Moonblast. And that is going to not kill Kyurem. He does get a special attack drop, which is annoying, but... Huh. Is he not full... So either he's not modest, or he's not fully invested. 46 to 55. A second Freeze Dry looks like a potential roll on whether or not it kills, since he got the special attack drop, which is irritating. But I'm going to click it anyway. We're just going to keep pressing forward. If I can get this Primarina out of here early, that'd be really nice. And I'm not going to kill the special attack drop. Light Screen. Interesting. I'm just clicking Freeze Dry again at this point. Kyurem is going full steam ahead on this. The Light Screen is kind of a pain. So that tells me he's probably Light Clay if I had to hazard a guess. And now he's going to switch. Straight into Darm. So this is definitely going to take this Freeze Dry. And... since I'm figuring he's probably Scarfed, I'm definitely getting Cryogenic out of here. Doesn't matter, do I want to go into Laundry Day or Cursed Design? If he goes Superpower... well, I'm at 43 with Kyurem. So I'm definitely in range of a Flare Blitz if he wants to go that route. I'm going to go Laundry Day. Play it a bit safe, see what he wants to do. So that is not... that tells me he's not a fully invested Prima. He's probably a more bulky set meant to just get screens up. I'm going to assume Light Clay for now as its item. Just because I saw no Leftovers recovery, and if he screens, that would make quite a bit of sense, actually. So we're going to see how he wants to play this with Darm. He's just going to U-turn, which is fair enough. Let's see. I'm going to wait to see what he switches in. My Leftovers are definitely going to bring me back up some. And I'm going to see how much damage that did before I go assuming anything. He's going to go back into Prima, which is interesting. So I am at 124 before that. 25%. I'm thinking that might be banded damage, actually, from Darm. Yeah, that seems a little more likely. That darn might be banded. Regardless, he went into Primarina. I definitely killed the Volt Switch, so I'm just going to collect that. He does outspeed, which is fine. I take that already. And I'm going to Volt Switch out, so that is going to be Primarina gone, which is nice. Just going to make a note of Darm real quick. Now what do I do? I could go into Cyanide and just start tearing things apart, too. I mean, with Prima gone... I'm gonna go back into Cryogenic, actually. Because I know he's got the light screen... But with me no longer having that special attack drop, I can see what he wants to do and go from there. Because Kyurem is I mean, yes, it was a potential Dragapult check, but at this point, between at least Hatterene and especially Runerigus, I think I can still deal with Dragapult. Getting Prima out of here was definitely nice. He's gonna plan on the fact, actually, that I kind of went a lot more specially bulky for this game. He's gonna go Orbeetle, which is an interesting play. I'm gonna try roosting up on this thing. See what he wants to do. That burns another screen turn. If he wants to just straight up... No, he's not gonna max just yet. So what is this Orbeetle doing, then? He's just going straight for the Bug Buzz. Which Cryogenic certainly takes. I'm gonna Roost again, actually. Because I'm just burning screen turns at this point. And Kyurem can definitely take this thing on. Especially once the screen is gone. If he wants to max, he can go ahead. Yep, he is gonna go ahead and max. So... After I Roost, a Flutterby is not going to be of any real concern. Neither is a Gravitas, if he goes for that. So there's the giant UFO thing. I'm just going to go ahead and get some more HP back, because I can. And let's see what his Mega Mind is looking to try to do to me this time. It is going to Flutterby. Fair enough. That didn't do too bad, actually. That lowers my special attack, so we're still playing this game. He's got 2 turns left of screen. I can definitely keep roosting to stall out his max. As scummy as I know it sounds, but I have roosts, I might as well use them, right? Granted, I am going to need to switch Kyurem back out to deal with these special attack drops, as he's going to go for another Flutterby. So yeah, once the screens are gone, I'm just going to click Roost again. No reason not to. Once his max is gone, if I'm at minus... Or once the screens are gone and his max, if I'm at -3... Dragon Pulse is doing maybe 18% at best, 15 to 18%. Which, I may start doing that just to get damage off on this thing. He's just going to switch. Which is fair enough. And he's going right back into Darm, which I'm assuming banded at this point. If he is banded, a Flare Blitz actually kills me. So do I want to consider that? There goes a screen. Laundry Day is kind of worn down, which is a bit of a problem. You know what? I'm going to Earth Power and see what he does. If I lose Kyurem, fair enough. He's just gonna straight up Flare Blitz, which does not kill. Is he not banded? Regardless, I'm gonna get this Earth Power off, which is almost gonna kill. I'm just gonna click Earth Power again. Why not? Again, if I lose Kyurem, that's fine. Just because of the fact that he's doing more Flare Blitz damage to himself if he is Choice Locked. Maybe he is Scarfed. He's gonna switch. Fair enough. Back into Orbeetle, which is definitely going to take this Earth Power. So, he knows I have a Habanberry. I am at 42. I can roost back up on this thing. Because his max is gone. He's only shown me Bug Buzz so far. Kyurem's still not in a bad spot. I know I'm -2 at special attack, but one switch fixes that. Let's see. Getting more on topic as to how I want to deal with this thing in particular. And he's just going to go for a Psychic. I could go Guardian, actually. Yeah, I'm just gonna go Guardian. If he Psychics me, fair enough. I can SD up and then just start... Oh no, I could just start smashing this thing with Iron Heads, too. If I want to play that game. Okay, he's gonna Psychic again. That does 179 to 106. I'm just going to straight up Iron Head. I could SD and get more damage off from this thing, but I think damage in general is the better idea right now. As he's going Rotom. Which is fair enough. This Iron Head's not going to do anything to him. And I could go Laundry Day, but I feel like he may just Volt Switch, actually. Yeah, I'm going to go Laundry Day. I'm going to play it safe here. Better to be safe than sorry with this Rotom on the field. Funny, because this is the Rotom I was originally looking to try to draft, and then I ended up with this guy instead. Funny how that worked out sometimes. He's straight Thunderbolts. Oof. Okay. So, judging by that, I want to say it's a more offensive set. I'm just going to Hydro Pump if he switches. I mean, if he is a more offensive one, he's going to outspeed me, and he would probably be aware of that. Or maybe he risks the speed tie. Hydro Pump definitely... Nope, he's just going to straight up kill me. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, in that regard, then... Okay, with Rotom washed out of commission... If I go Salazzle right now, Sludge Wave is not an Oko. If he specs, he can't kill me. Yeah, I'm gonna send out Cyanide and start attacking things with my specs. So, just looking at what he's got left, I really see no reason not to just fire off a Sludge Wave right now. Do big damage to this thing. whatever he wants to bring in is not going to appreciate it. I mean, he's going to stay in, which is fine. I'm just going to hit it with a Sludge Wave, do a ton of damage. He's going to T-Bolt. And I'm just going to click Sludge Wave again, because why not? He doesn't have a Steel type, so I have no reason not to. And the only thing that outspeeds Salazzle is Dragapult. So Rotom Heat dies. Darmanitan definitely dies if it comes in. Orbeetle, I want to say it dies, considering I do have damage off on it. Swoobat is sure as hell not going to appreciate a Spec Sludge Wave. Would he actually? Nope, he's just going to let Rotom go down. Which is fair enough. And if I were to hazard a guess, I'm saying Dragapult's coming in now. Unless Darm Scarfed, it is the only thing he has that outspeeds me. And at least in that case, I can then get some intel on what kind of set he is. Yep, he's going to go straight to this thing. So what I'm worried about is a D-Dance set. I want to see what he's going to hit me with, honestly. So I think I'm just going to stay in and fire off a Sludge Wave. I mean, he goes straight Shadow Ball, so he is a special set. That's good to know. I am actually perfectly fine with that. And him revealing Shadow Ball kind of tells me he may be Specs. Let's see. If I go into Guardian right now, I'm at 106. I do not take a Shadow Ball. If I go into Runerigus, which is my answer to this thing anyway, I definitely take a Shadow Ball if he is Specs because of my Queso Berry. So I'm going to send out Cursed Design, because it's my answer to this thing regardless. And I am pretty much free to get up a Trick Room and go from there. I mean, if he pops my Queso Berry, that's fine. With Trick Room up, I at least get a Shadow Claw off on it. Then from there, I think Hatterene comes in and actually basically just destroys. He's just going to straight up withdraw into Darm. Which is fair enough, because whatever this thing is, Trick Room goes into effect now. So this thing is certainly not in the best of spots. I'm just going to click Earthquake and take this thing out. So, farewell, Darmanitan. I mean, he could have been sacking it, but at the same time, I've got... I'll have to double check the exact turns, but 3 or 4 turns of Trick Room at this point. Considering everything he's got left is weak to this thing. So he's going to go into Orbeetle, which I would... Well, he sees my Queso Berry now. Let's see. I have 3 turns left of Trick Room. So I could very easily Shadow Claw this thing, and I think I'm going to do that, actually. Because it should be a 2-shot from this range. Maybe not, actually. He's just going to go straight Shadow Ball. So the bad news is it does pop my Queso Berry. But even still... I'm going to set Rocks up, actually, right now. Because that hinders Swoobat. It'll hinder this thing if he switches it out. And that's Chip on Dragapult. So he definitely has more physical investment on this thing. For sure. I'm gonna Shadow Claw again. Now that I know he's Special Pult, Curse Design... I mean, it pretty much did what I would need it to. So this thing definitely dies if it comes back in on rocks. And I'm going to lose Curse Design to a crit. I figured as much. It looked like I was going to live that, but Twisted Dimensions return to normal. I'm going to go back into Cryogenic, honestly. Because I am not afraid of... If that Dragapult is Specs, I can... He knows I've got a Haban Berry. So there is that. I'm just going to click Dragon Pulse on this thing in case he wants to switch out. I mean, he really can't, and I could have roosted up, but... At this point... I think just having Kyurem take this thing out is more beneficial. So I still have Hat in the back to be able to deal with things if necessary as well. So if he goes into Dragapult right now, and it is in fact Specs, a Draco Meteor still kills through my Haban Berry. A Shadow Ball... I think I might be in range of a Shadow Ball, potentially. He could go into Swoobat, too. I don't know why he would, but... I'm honestly expecting Dragapult more than anything else. Yep, there is Pult. So right now, I am at... Once the rocks are out of the way... 82. I'm definitely in range of a Shadow Ball if he wants to go for it. I'm just going to click Dragon Pulse and see what he wants to do. Because I think this thing is still manageable right now. He just goes straight for the Draco. Which, that's actually best case scenario. He does pop my Haban Berry, and he does kill Cryogenic, which is sad. But, he is at -2 special attack. Which... Basically invites in Hesukia. Well, no, if he's Specs, he's locked into Draco. I'm just gonna set this Trick Room up, and then from there, G-Max should be the end of this. If he's Specs, he's locked into Draco, so he's definitely switching. He is not Specs. Okay. That is still perfectly fine. Just because of the fact that once I get this Trick Room set up, Hat outspeeds both Swoobat. Okay. If this thing would have been shiny, I would have felt a lot worse about this. But it's not, so it's not my mascot. It's an imposter. So with that... I'm gonna max, I'm gonna smite, Hat outspeeds everything, and I'm pretty sure that's ball game at this point. If this Swoobat was sashed, it was sashed, the rocks break that. Smite definitely kills this thing, because, admittedly, as much as I hate bad-mouthing my mascot, Swoobat does have kind of garbage defenses. But, this thing drops to a Smite. Dragapult definitely drops to a Smite. And that's going to be all she wrote. So I'm kind of curious what his Pult set is then if he's not Specs. I mean, maybe he has a Fairy Resist Berry? But even if that's the case, Smite still straight up smashes this thing regardless. Even if I didn't have rocks up. Because I've got Smite doing about, if he's got very minimal defensive investment and no Resist Berry, over 200%. So a Berry wouldn't help in this case anyway. So that is going to be Smite. I see no Berry getting popped, and that's going to be all she wrote. So, Crisis Avert... Okay, that's just Salt in the Wounds game. I apologize for that, MarioBee. Oy vey. But that is going to be a 2-0 win for our Swoo. GG, MarioBee. That was a tough game. I'm not going to lie. I was definitely very concerned about that Dragapult all the way through. But we were able to handle it. And my Swoo are going to improve to 6-1 now. Rep plus 11 differential, which is certainly not catching up to Howler anytime soon. But at least we're keeping pace with him record-wise. Which means if he slips up and I keep winning, I will overtake him. I'm sure MarioBee will bounce back, though, because he definitely gave me a run for my money that game. Screw Dragapult, man. In any event, thank you guys so very much for watching. I have been RuppDat, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.